All right, let's give them a few more minutes, and then I send a note to Demetria, Mark, and Linda. And that looks like who we're missing. Mark and Patrick. Oh, there's Demetria. All right. Very good. Hi there, Demetria. How you doing?
Hey, I just found it.
Oh, yeah, it's usually
everybody.
yeah, it's a clear sign when people are running a little late. They're having trouble finding the dial-in stuff. So, all right. Ooh.
Oh, you just wearing a t-shirt?
I am just wearing a t-shirt.
Well,
Yes.
of course.
And,
That I can see.
and shorts.
Oh, of course.
Shorts. Yeah. Yeah. I provided the view a little earlier just to rub it in. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, gang. I've got looks like 5 after, so let's go on ahead and get started, and I'll try to hear the chime when it goes, because I want to kind of keep us on track. So thank you so much, everybody. This is our first meeting of January, and from here on forward, we will be meeting regularly the second Wednesday of the month at 2 o'clock. So this will help me stay organized, and I think it'll help us kind of be on a regular schedule, which was a little bit difficult. So with that, I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I'll call the roll. Alexander.
Here.
DeFranco.
Here.
Epstein. Oh, I heard somebody. Hold on. Nope. Epstein. Escott. Johnson.
Here.
Hi, Barry. Kathy. North.
Here.
Stewart. Patrick Stewart. Tyrion.
Here.
And Lewis here. All right, we've got a quorum.
Garnet, did you see that Escott is here?
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
Linda?
she's just muted.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. All right. I count her. All right, very good. With that, this is the time in the agenda for public comment on anything on the agenda. For those of you who are participants, not on the committee, who'd like to comment in any way, we generally ask you to kind of keep your comments to 3 minutes. If you could raise your hand, I'll scroll through the pictures. So if at any time, do we have any member of the public that would like to make public comments? I don't see anyone. All right. Okay, with that, we'll move on then. Approval of the minutes I provided to you. Thank you so much, Kathy North, our secretary, our wonderful secretary. She provided us with a copy. Actually, you are, because you're willing to do it. Approval of the minutes of November.
I get a little humbled by Rana's thing hours before I get to mine. Hers is done immediately, and it's amazing.
It's all good, and we appreciate you. So these minutes are from the November 23rd, 2020 conversation pretty much with Jack Brown. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to, I say motion to approve the minutes.
I had one quick question about it.
Yeah, let's get us to discussion. Let's get a second, and then we'll get us to discussion. So, all right. So Rana has seconded. Linda has made the motion. All right. Any discussion? Rana, go for it.
Yeah, I just, on the letter J under, well, I guess it's just the J. It said that there was the bi-monthly versus monthly pickup. And I know this keeps coming up, but is bi-monthly every other month? Should it be bi-weekly?
Yeah.
I know there was like the it seems like an ongoing problem, but I think bi-monthly means every other month.
Yeah. So okay, that's a
Good
go
catch.
ahead, Daniel. Good. Good catch.
I looked this up and it doesn't clarify anymore. So bi-weekly can mean
Twice a week.
it can mean twice a week or it can mean every other week. And same with bi-monthly. So it's just
Okay.
personal preference, and
I see.
there's just a built-in ambiguity with both terms.
Can we just
What
say,
if we decide every 2 weeks?
Okay.
Every 2 weeks. Let's do that. Let's
I
do
know,
that.
but
It's,
I
yeah,
think
go
this
ahead.
really reflects the sort of the confusing nature of recycling.
I think it's just confusing of the English language.
Yeah, using
I think,
language.
yeah, we could honor our respondent in the survey to go to, what was it, semi-monthly? Isn't that what the person said? It should be semi-monthly.
I think every other week would be great.
All
Yeah,
right.
that works.
All right, very good. Any other discussion? Thanks for that catch, Rana. No other discussion? All right, we'll take the roll. Escott,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
DeFranco,
Yes.
Epstein, it's not with us. Johnson,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Stewart, do I have him? Nope. Tyrion,
Yes.
Lewis is a yes. All right, very good. Excellent. Then the next thing is I'll entertain a motion to approve our agenda.
I so move put forth a motion to approve the agenda.
All right, very good. Who was that?
Linda, Escott.
Linda, very good. I've got a motion from Tyrion and a second from Escott. Any other comments or discussion on the agenda at this time? All right, with that, I'll take the roll. Tyrion,
Yes.
Escott,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
DeFranco,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Lewis is a yes. All right, very good. Okay, we've got no unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business. And since we're starting a new year, thought it would be helpful to just get the year started off with election of officers for 2021. I'm just like right now by de facto just leading this meeting until we do any changeover. So I will start with nominations for chair of the Tri-Community Recycling Committee. Any nominations?
I nominate Garn.
Was
I
that
second
Linda?
that, if you're
I
interested.
nominate you, Garn.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right. Very good.
Who's the second?
Sounds like Barry, I
Barry.
think.
Yeah.
It's all good. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? All right. In the world of parliamentary procedure, Barry can agree with me that we always have to ask 3 times. So if there are no other nominations, then we'll take the vote for chair. Remind me who had the first? Who was that?
Me, Linda.
Linda? Escott? Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Johnson?
Yes.
All right. Alexander?
Yes.
DeFranco?
Yes.
North?
Yes.
Tyrion?
Yes.
Lewis? Yes. All right. Next up, we have vice chair, co-chair. With this, I'll open up
Right.
nomination for co-chairs.
Daniel.
I would like to nominate Rana and Daniel for co-chairs. For vice
Okay.
chairs.
Okay. Co-chairs. Are there any other nominations? Are you guys willing to accept? I guess we should ask that in the first place. I should have asked myself that.
Was there a second there, Gern?
I saw Tyrion. No. Who's my second?
I'll second.
All right, Kathy is a second. All right, any other nominations? Any other
Besides
nominations?
Daniel, who was the other one?
We had Rana.
Oh, I like
Rana and Daniel as co-chairs.
that. Good team.
Any other nominations? One more time, any other nominations? All right, with that, I'll close it and I'll take the vote. For Rana, Alexander, and Daniel DeFranco as co-chairs. Tyrion,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes, thank you.
DeFranco,
Yes.
Escott,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Terrian.
Oh, you asked me already. Yes.
Oh, good. And Lewis, thank you.
Double yes.
Trying. I've got my little check marks going here. All right, very good. So Rana and Daniel, thank you so much.
Thank you
Good
all.
question, Garn.
Yes, go ahead.
Rana, you're from Douglas. Daniel, are you in the township?
I am.
See, now we've got somebody on the board from everywhere.
I know. This is great.
That's what we need. Good.
All right, and then lastly, we need a secretary again. So I'll open up nominations for secretary.
I'd like to nominate Kathy if she's willing.
I second that if she's willing.
Willing, Kathy?
Sure.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? All right, with that, we'll close the nominations and I'll take the roll. Rana, is Kathy for secretary? Rana,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Daniel,
Yes.
let's see, Barry Johnson,
Yes.
Demetria Terrian,
Yes.
Lewis is a yes. Kathy?
Yes.
All right, very good. Thanks, y'all. That puts our crew into place for 2021. And I wanted to thank Demetria for stepping up and being our vice chair since last April. I really appreciate you. And thank you on your willingness to have Daniel and Rana kind of follow in your footsteps. So, sound good?
Absolutely.
All right. So my plans for today, you all, I know I gathered from you all your thoughts for 2021, but I wanted to take a little bit of time to review 2020. And I'll save my thoughts to the end, and I'll just go around the horn and kind of get your thoughts on how you think 2020 went. And I'll leave it to you if you want to focus on accomplishments or anything like that. And so with that, I'll start with Rana first.
I don't know how many of you read my original book that I submitted at the beginning of this, but as I went through it to kind of just reflect on what was done and what I was hoping to see happen in 2021, I was very pleasantly surprised at how many things had been accomplished. It's easy over time to feel like it's taking a while and whatever's happening, but I thought there was an amazing amount of just kind of input from people in the field and community members, and it felt like a lot got accomplished in that year, more than I had recalled. So I felt really good about it, and I do feel like we have the groundwork laid for more things to be in place and to have momentum moving forward into 2021. So I felt really good about it. And I'm very grateful to be part of this group. Feels less lonely than my last 10 years trying to get things done. So I'm very grateful to be here. So thanks for all the work.
Very good. Cool. Daniel.
I'm also super impressed with all that we've accomplished. I'm happy that we got to the bottom of certain issues, especially surrounding what was going on with the yellow bags. I have been fielding a lot of emails from residents of the township, and I found myself communicating that, if the city of Saugatuck and Douglas hadn't reached out to us, because we don't have a contract with Republic, we really don't have any right to, speak with a representative Republic and get movement. And so, for the township to be part of this group really gives us a leg to stand on. Gives us a little skin in the game. And so I'm super grateful that, we were all able to come together, and that, the formation of this group actually gives the township a voice where they wouldn't have been entitled to that voice before. So just the very formation of the group, I'm happy with. I'm so proud of the Back to Basics initiative. I think it's spot on. I think it resonates well, and I think that it's the direction that we need to be going in.
Very good. Excellent. Linda Escott.
Yeah, for me, it was a year of learning. So the Back to Basics really resonates with me, because I started at what I considered like zero, and I've moved up. It's been great working with all the people that are on this and the enthusiasm and the knowledge base that's on here. And I couldn't think of a better group going forward for this year than the three of you, because your exuberance, your go-getters. Rana, I want to one day be you. Because I'd be too tired.
That's very sweet. I want you to be you. So we'll just do it together, okay?
I know. Very good. Barry Johnson.
Thank you, Garnett, and congratulations, and appreciate your further service, and Daniel for stepping up too. To me, this is really a great example of tri-community collaboration, and it's not even a controversial thing. We get together on some things that are hard, but this is hard as well, but we're all working towards the same goal. And so I'm very glad to see this tri-community collaboration. And I think this year, the more we learned, the more we know what we need to learn. And I'm looking forward to continuing. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Kathy.
Just a second, I'm still ready.
Okay.
I also was very pleased with the progress that we made. I think that this group is got a lot of drive, and it's good to get some positive things ticked off of our list. I think the survey was great, that we were able to reach out and connect with the citizens and get their feedback, and we'll be able to kind of move from there. I thought it was great that we, I think, reestablished our partnership with Republic and got to a better place with them so that we can kind of work together instead of what felt like working in opposition a little bit. I thought Ken Freestone was a great resource to our group, and I'm inspired by the things that they've done in Holland, and I'm just excited for us to move forward.
Great. Thank you. Demetria.
Well, it's been a really good experience for me to be part of this group, and I love the outreach of the tri-community work, and sort of laying the groundwork that, yes, we all can collaborate. I think it's so absolutely cool that recycling, that people have recycling on the tip of their tongues, and now it's sort of, people are talking about it more, and it's sort of a thing, it's a topic. So I think that that's reflects a lot of the groundwork that the committee has put forth. And thank you, Garn, for being. And when we get to it, I want to talk about glass pickup.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So I think that's everybody else we're missing. I got my thoughts a little bit organized earlier today, and I wanted to run through some things. And Kathy, I'll just send this to you so you're not writing furiously. But it's hard. It's hard sometimes. You think, boy, we're just kind of trudging along, and it doesn't feel like we're really getting anywhere. And then when I wrote down, I almost have a page full of things. So I'm going to run through this real quick. So it's just a reminder to us of really what we've managed to accomplish in a very short time. We had our very first meeting in April of 2020. And I think I'd forgotten that it was actually April when we started meeting. Since that time, we initiated, as somebody had mentioned, the community-wide survey. We did that in September. Big thank you to Mark Epstein for getting us started on that. We presented the results to the municipalities in October. We've had numerous, and this is along what Linda was saying, some education, numerous presentations. Ken Freestone, our resident guru forever and ever, has been with us and presented and got us off on the right foot. The Allegan County Recovery and Recycling Program and the Recycling Partnership, to name just a few. I think Kathy touched on the real positive movement with Republic Services from our first meeting with them with Carrie Rattinger still in that role to then transitioning to Jack Brown, who is like a ray of sunshine in that role. He's just been fantastic, and has since had, as evidenced by our last minutes, spent quite a bit of time with us and also made himself available. As an aside, I've gotten several notes, whether it's from our interim manager in the city of Saugatuck or from the city of Douglas, just looking for helpful, whether it's Jack's actual contact information or an answer to a question, and then Jack taking it and running with it, which has been absolutely fantastic. We reviewed our public services contracts, both Douglas, the city of Douglas, and the city of Saugatuck. Since that time, I've presented, and I think I've had some help of this committee, to each municipality at least twice, whether it was just to provide, not just, but to provide survey results, and then to kind of talk about what we were doing, following up on that, and getting ready for 2021. And I know I've shared this with you all, but we've to each municipality has been so very thankful and very positive about what we've done as a committee, and they're thankful for that. We got the recycling calendar. Looks like it's posted in every municipality now, which is a huge help to everybody. It's one of the reasons that Linda and Barry first started and asked to start this committee, was because there was just a real confusion about when exactly is recycling happening. And to have that recycling calendar now available in all 3 municipalities on the webpage is a huge help. We got the yellow bag announcement out, the public service announcement. Thank you, Daniel. And I think that's really helped people get beyond the frustration of yellow bags. We thank you, Rana, the Back to Basics and the commercial record articles. And I also have to send out a shout out to Scott Sullivan for being willing to let us every 2 weeks have an article in the commercial record. That's, in some cities that's unheard of. You don't really get that kind of cooperation from a local newspaper. The Facebook page is up and running. So those are the kind of the big ones. Other than that, and I think Linda touched on this, the general collegiality of this group is most appreciated. I think it makes for the dialogue is easy, and it's obvious that there's mutual respect here, and for that I am thankful, and I thank all of you. And as I mentioned, a shout out to Linda and Barry for being the initiative to get this whole effort started.
Really
I think we're on the right track, and so you don't go unnoticed. And then lastly, I want to thank our regular attendees who are actually here with us today, Kelly Roach and Jim Yost. They're here. Ken's not on today. He's probably got another meeting, but it's really wonderful to have some of our regulars on, and I'm really thankful for that. So with that's 2020. So anything else to add on 2020? Kathy, remind me to send these to you. So
I will, trust me.
all right, yeah, very good. So thank you, everybody. So now we move on to 2021. I did want to make sure that we at least celebrated the accomplishments for the year. And now we're into 2021. And this is where I'm going to ask for help from the crew. I've basically, as you recall, I asked for everybody to kind of send me along what your goals would be for 2021, and provided that kind of in summary format to you. And I think probably the easiest way, I'd gotten a response back today. I think I heard from Demetria, and then I got a response back from Barry, and somebody else might have popped in. But I think just to kind of help us stay organized, I'm going to go through this list that we put together. And I'll back up a little bit, part of what's been absolutely wonderful, and part of the reason for having Rana and Daniel step up into the co-chair role is because the 3 of us, if it hadn't been for Daniel and Rana, I don't know that we would be half of where we are with with the Back to Basics, the commercial record, the public service announcement, a lot of that stuff. And the 2 of them reached out to me I don't even remember when it was, and said, you know, is there a way we can just sit down once a week and just touch base and make sure we're on track with things? And that's been a huge help. So having said that, what has been wonderful is to have Rana and Daniel step up and take the lead on these things. So I'm not feeling like it's something that I need to do myself. It's a huge help. And so part of my, quite honestly, part of my reason for asking everybody as far as what your goals are for 21 is to see where you yourself are willing to step up to. Because more folks who take the lead on these things, the better. And now that we're on a regular once a month schedule, I think we'll really be able to move along, so to speak. So with that, I'm going to just kind of look at my summary notes and just start at the beginning. The first thing that we had was the back to basics recycling, to engage in the recycling audit through the recycling partnership and move Saugatuck City and Douglas to biweekly pickup to support this effort. And along those same lines, to create an educational flyer to be posted for short-term rentals. So I do recall, oops, hold on, I got somebody in here, Mark's here. I do recall, Barry, I think I saw your name as one of the things that you were interested, the recycling audit. Is that my memory correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted, bud.
Yeah,
There you
sorry
go.
about that. Yeah, my thoughts on that really are, I would like to work with the public to audit what we're actually sending out of here. You know, and this is, again, I have so much to learn, but I think that they do certain audits when those trucks arrive looking for contamination. And I don't know if they pick 1 out of 10 or what, but you know, somehow they're auditing it. But I would like to take it a step further and say, okay, this year in March, they accepted 2 tons of recycling. The next year or the next month, it was 1.5 tons, and that helps us track progress, that we're maybe having some success getting our message out to the community by seeing increased amounts of material being recycled, and also to see, well, how much of it is being rejected because of, you know, contamination. And that's another thing that we can bring back to the community. And, you know, I would love to work on that with some other people, maybe a subcommittee. And that would be working directly with Republic to help set that up. Certainly lean on Ken Freestone to bounce the idea off of him. And, you know, I think those would be 2 tools that will help us have some metrics as we move forward advising the community.
Yeah. I think I heard Linda back in there in the background somewhere about
Me?
this. No, was it not?
I had
Nope.
sent you, I had sent you an email, and on it, I had mentioned that I'd be interested to work on the auditing. I like that, Barry, you're talking about going direct to Republic, because I think that is really important. And I guess my mind, just because we were just talking about the recycling partnership, that's where my mind was at. So I don't know if maybe it comes from 2 directions, and then we can kind of triangulate the results from that standpoint. So I appreciate, Barry, that you thought about going to Republic, because my head was in a different place. So that's great.
Yeah, they're the people that deal with it. And again, I want to learn. I mean, are they monitoring it when they say they're rejecting things? What was it? I mean, we could learn a whole lot through that. And again, I probably need Ken Freestone to point us, subcommittee, in the right direction.
That's great.
Okay. We also had underneath that the back to the creating the educational flyer. And I think that's, Rana, you were starting on some of that. You were looking into what it would take to get that just out as a bulk mail.
Yep.
So anything else to add on that?
Not really.
Yeah, this is something just previously with campaigns and stuff, putting together a flyer, and I can take the lead on this.
I mean, essentially what I would do is just kind of come up with the content that would go on it with other people's help, and then I can run it through the committee and see what everybody else thinks.
Okay.
if something that's missing or something that's not. One of the things I did include on my email is I was hoping to develop the graphics so that there is almost like a branding that happens when somebody sees something come out, that it's consistent.
Mhm.
And so I would be happy to take the lead on at least that part. So any of the communications
Okay.
that are happening, if it's the educational flyer for the short-term rentals or tabletop graphics or back to basics postcards or composting, whatever that is. So
Cool. All right. Very good.
If you're gonna do short-term rentals, what about the B&Bs?
yeah, I think that's definitely a topic, and I think it would encompass all of that. I'm not sure how that looks in practice or who, I think that's going to be a fairly large effort,
Yeah.
and one definitely worth taking and doing, because
Mhm.
in the summers, that's so much of that'll have such an impact on the recycling quality.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
definitely with
Yep.
the bread, I always call them bread and breakfast, but it's the bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got it. All right, events. Again, a couple of you popped these in there. So the first was holding a hazardous waste event, including medical waste pickup. And the other was establishing a scheduled day or days when the public can bring materials such as TVs, electronics, metals, glass, damaged lawn furniture, and other items that the current service haulers do not pick up on a regular, I got myself a typo, pick up on a regular route. This could be a community cleanup event for each of the 3 communities. The sites would need to be strategically located throughout the 3 communities to make it convenient for residents. A schedule could be established with very specific timeframes, limiting availability so that the sites can be monitored by volunteers to potentially collect a minimum fee of perhaps $5 and supervise what is dropped off. So those are
The police in Douglas, they collect old prescriptions. So there's
Yeah.
one medical drop off.
Say that again, Linda.
If you go inside the Douglas Police Station, they have a container there where you can put in old prescriptions.
Is it open for anyone?
I don't know, whenever I've if I have a hair appointment or something, I stop by the post office and I drop off any old prescriptions I find in the house or whatever. Yeah, if they've expired, they just ask that they, have the prescription so they know what they are. But there's nobody monitoring it saying this is only for Douglas.
I would be more than happy to sort of coordinate a larger effort around the medical waste pickup.
Okay.
And I think it's a great idea, Rana, about attaching that information to the logo, to the work that we're doing. So, I would be happy to take the lead on that.
Cool. All right.
Garnett?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I see kind of breaking these down a little more. There was a comment in that suggestion about old lawn furniture and things like that. And, I think Douglas probably does, but I know the city of Saugatuck, in our contract with them, has a junk pickup week. And that's pretty much handled by each city, and they do that themselves. But what the cities don't do are the hazardous waste and the electronics. And I'm going to throw batteries in there.
Yeah.
I've got props on that. But so my thought on that is to kind of have maybe 2 subcommittees, one about hazardous waste, to do some educational pieces for the commercial record. And then all of us help coordinate with our municipalities an event for hazardous waste pickup. And this is kind of great. What a committee can do is make recommendations to the councils and see where that flies. And then again, maybe it's the same day, but in electronics. And I am really all over batteries. I got batteries. I got batteries. And I swear to God, this whole community probably throws tons of batteries away every year. and I don't know what to do with them, but I save them and I don't know, I'm running out of space. So I really want to be involved about how are we going to best serve, and I see it's further in the agenda. With batteries
Yeah.
is high on my list.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, hold that thought because we've got some fun little news on that one.
Good.
All right. So I've written down hazardous
Karen?
waste. Yep.
When Rich and I had a meeting with Republic last week, I guess, and talked about a lot of these items. We had somebody last year during pickup leave a boat out for us to pick up. I mean,
Oh, good gravy.
for real. So
Yeah.
we talked about how to navigate that, and he's going to come back with some good ideas for us, I think. But Rich is also interested in having a scrap metal pickup at the same time
Okay. Yeah. Rich.
that we might add to this list of.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Reduction in, oh, sorry.
quick. So
Who
I
do I
know,
got?
it's Kelly. So I know
Okay.
Ken Freestone had said that he would compile a local list for all the places as far as for plastic bags and batteries and things of that nature. But are we also thinking we would compile one for even more locally, that maybe we can look at some local businesses for drops and then put that
Yeah.
also on the municipality website, so then everybody has, just like we're doing with the recycling, then you know where things need to go.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Daniel, I see your hand up.
Yes. So I just wanted to add, I mean, I would be willing to participate with household hazardous waste pickup. But I just wanted to point out, I think a good point in contact would be Daryl Van Dyke. He is the manager at Cow Lake. So because the cities of Saugatuck and Douglas and Saugatuck Township all participate in the county wellhead protection program, there are grant opportunities associated with household hazardous waste, and he is the point in contact for that. So whoever is, heading up or participating in this household hazardous waste project, I would definitely reach out to Daryl Van Dyke.
Okay. Yeah. He's
I'm on the Cal Lake board, so I hope I'm
Got
on
it.
that committee.
Okay. I'm going to put Barry here in parentheses. Okay. All right. I'll move on to reduction in single-use plastics, sustainable material group buy for restaurants, eateries. I've had here in parentheses Lucy, Elizabeth, and Rana. Rana, do you want to elaborate on this a little bit? trying
I
to-
was just,
yeah.
we have a 16-year-old, she's a junior, and I was engaging her in trying to reach out to all the local eateries and restaurants, that kind of thing, to kind of take the temperature of where people were at with what kinds of materials they're using, what if they're using single-use plastics, if they're giving them away, are they asking customers if they want them before just putting them in, and do they have alternatives? We've heard from quite a few people, I have over the last however long, that the compostable and recyclable single-use items are much more expensive. And so that led us down this kind of trail of discussing what if everybody got together in the tri-community and we did a group buy as far as those materials. So it lowered the price for everybody, so that when there's new things that could be coming out that people could use, that we would be able to inform them of that. And then basically we're just hopefully being able to compile information, and Elizabeth was going to be helping out with that since she's already in contact with all the restaurants. And then Lucy was going to compile the information for us, and we would be able to go from there just to kind of feel out if that's even a plausible idea.
Yeah, and that's going to be a monumental task.
Yeah.
But I appreciate, but I appreciate Lucy kind of helping out with this, and certainly Elizabeth Estes with her two businesses recognizes the importance of this. Isabel's as an example. We've tried to purchase. It's more expensive, that's for sure. But we've been committed to making sure the materials that we purchase and send out our door are recyclable and reusable. Let's see. I'm going to move on to marketing and communication. Consistent window signage in all retail spaces, restaurants, and on on what our communities are doing to support sustainable efforts, restaurant, tabletop infographics, and ways customers can help in the effort. And then also continue to provide the most accurate recycling information to our communities. So that's an overall marketing and communication goal. I think as we move forward into the year, that we continue to use the resources at our fingertips, social media, the commercial record, and make sure that, we've known this from the very beginning, communication is so key for everything, to kind of nip things in the bud, misinformation in the bud, to getting the correct stuff out. So keeping that in mind. Moving on then to social media creation and management of Facebook content. I don't know if anybody in our crew has some experience in this. I set up the Facebook page, and have been trying to post somewhat regularly from various sources. If anybody else is interested in helping with that, you just need to let me know and I can make you an admin. Daniel, I know, is an admin, and we've had a discussion about limiting people's comments on the page, because we have from time to time some individuals who are rather passionate about this. I don't have a problem engaging in dialogue with anybody. So, Daniel,
It stresses me out.
It stresses.
It
Yeah, and I
stresses
don't.
me out.
Yeah, I don't worry about it too much. It's if we can give people an avenue to communicate and vent, I think that's better than letting it just kind of run rampant in the community. So giving them kind of a central location. Education, we had several ideas here. First, improving education and communication of what services are available from the various hauling services used by the three communities. This could be a spreadsheet formatted comparison of each service, possibly including a related cost, so that residents can make a value judgment of the service they use and compare it to the other services. And this really, I think, applies more for the township, since the city of Douglas and the city of Saugatuck are in contract with Republic. Those costs are similar.
But towards that end, Garn, there are a lot of additional services that Republic offers for residents to pick up on their own, and that might be important to communicate as well.
Okay, additional services.
I think that's a really good idea to
Things like
spreadsheet like that.
you can have them come and pick your bin right up out of your garage for an additional cost, which might be helpful to elderly or physically limited people.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Is this as a result of your conversation with Jack last week or the week
That's
before?
actually in our contract, but I noticed that it's not in your contract, but it is a service that they provide. I just don't know if people are aware of it. It would be at the cost to the resident, not to the city.
Sure, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, we didn't put it in our contract because it was already a service they provided.
It was already a service they provided, Barry?
Yep. Yeah, it was always there. Before we had a contract, if you were at the time Chef Container, that service was available, and I think it's only a couple bucks a month.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It was always there, so we never put it in the contract.
So that's good though, because I wonder again how many people either know that or remember that.
Right.
And Rana, as we kind of look at articles for the commercial record, that might be kind of a simple one to do, just to, hey, FYI, here are the additional services that are included as part of your contract, kind of thing. I think that would be very helpful.
If you can
go ahead.
steer me to where I can find that information, I would be happy, Rhonda, to write that or to co-write it with you, that little article.
It's probably right on the Republic website.
People to know.
That'd be great.
Yeah, Cool. Yeah. And yeah, Barry, I hear you. And it's, it's interesting. We all know this. I mean, you can tell people it's all right there for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
wasn't saying that. I didn't want to
Yeah.
direct people at the website, but as far as the people writing it for the paper, you can
Yeah.
probably just pull it off the website.
The
And I
Republic
expect
website.
for me to see it in black and white in the paper myself.
Yeah, services provided. Yeah, Linda, let's, I've written your name down here and I'll
Hey, Rhonda, what
follow
I'll
up with you.
The next week, I will write something up by the end of next week and then I will shove it over to you.
Okay, that's great. And it's should be between 600 and 700 words, please.
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and please include the extra recycling bin if you would need to for the month. I know we're going to talk about that later, but I mean,
Mhm.
look at all the extra services they do and list them out so we can put them in the paper.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Implement the back to basic education plan for our residents. I think we're on the right track. Back to basics. I gotta write this. So part of our thoughts going back was first to get a flyer out to folks and then to start to direct them to the Facebook page and the commercial record for information. So Rana's already volunteered to work on the graphics, and I'll follow up with doing some background on flyer to develop, or cost to develop a flyer, and how we can maybe get that in a bulk mailer. So that's what the next piece is: develop the educational materials for the Back to Basics initiative, including an FAQ piece. Perhaps something each member of the committee could contribute to, with 1 or 2 people in charge of compilation. Who wrote this? Does anybody remember this?
I did.
Okay, you want to elaborate?
Well, I had a request for a frequently asked question page from a member, commissioner in the Township Planning Commission. So I thought it was it'd be a good idea to have it. So if somebody did have a question, as opposed to kind of, reinventing the wheel every time, we had set answers for specific questions. And, I think that each person on the committee has something unique to contribute. And so if we generated kind of, questions that we think that people would ask us, or questions that we had ourselves, and created answers for them, we could create a living document, like an FAQ document. That was the idea behind it.
Great.
And the back to basics materials that I'm talking about are, I think, what we've been talking about already.
Okay, Daniel, do you want to take the lead on that FAQ piece?
Absolutely.
That's something that we can easily get up on that Facebook page too. But certainly even an article, again, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that we have access to the commercial record. It seems to be really helpful. So thank you.
Pleasure.
And then underneath education, brainstorm opportunities for outreach to public schools and the library. So we'll hold that thought for the next meeting.
I have a comment about the library. I checked in with them, and they're not going to offer a cork board for, information like they used to have. They have a rolling media screen that will put their books and activities around that. So, but I don't know if they would accept other community events on their internal website. So,
Okay.
does anybody else know?
I don't have a connection with the library.
Our daughter works there. I can ask.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Lucy works there too?
Nope, our oldest daughter, Marlene.
Oh my goodness.
We've got them covering it all. If you need a
Okay.
kid, we've got them.
Let's all chip in and buy him a
Well,
cork
thank you.
board.
Buy him a
Pardon me?
cork board.
Buy
Let's
them.
all
Oh,
chip in and buy him a cork board. I mean,
Yeah.
I look at that, the one in Des Moines is all cluttered, but I look at it every time I walk by it.
Yeah. It might, from a library perspective, be a COVID, might be COVID related. So,
Probably.
all right. Yeah. So I'm
So-
gonna,
Can I just, I was slightly distracted while that was happening. So I'm just checking in to see if we can add information onto the TV monitor at the entrance of the library.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what the,
Kinda like
Yeah, I think it would be whether it be information or events, if we get to a hazardous waste day,
Yeah.
or something like that, that we could ask that be posted on there. That'd be pretty cool.
Okay, that's a great idea. I will do
Yeah.
that and get back to you guys.
Yeah. All right, contracts. So the township, Daniel, I know Mark's on now. It seems like it's really started to gather a little bit of steam. Presenting a proposal for a single hauler contract with Saugatuck Township.
Yeah, Mark, do you want to take the lead on this, or do you want me
Yeah,
to start?
sure. First, let me apologize for coming in late. I've spoken to a member of the township, and he said that the township is probably in a good position right now to entertain a proposal or a discussion at least regarding a single hauler. Since there's been a turnover from the previous boards that heard this in the past. And so based on that, it's just a matter of contacting them to ask them when we can present the idea. I feel, and the person I've spoken to that's on the board or on the the township board, I expressed it to that person that we, meaning this committee, shouldn't be the ones to drive the request for proposal.
Mm-mm.
But since they have very specific guidelines they have to follow, formats and such, that they should take the lead in creating that request for proposal, reviewing those, and then if, taking it up for a vote, have the hearings on it that they have to do, and negotiate the contract.
Barry, go ahead. Oh, sorry,
I-
Mark. I'm going to have Barry pop in here because I know
Go
he's
ahead.
had experience. Go ahead.
Yeah, that whole process is really, I wouldn't say it's none of our business, but we don't drive that. It's got to bubble up from the people, being the people of the township, to their elected officials, the American way. And now certainly the Saugatuck contract with Republic is easily made available to the township officials to use as a guide for what one community has done for. But as far as the negotiations, the request for a proposal, that's really none of our business as an advisory committee, in my opinion.
And that's what I just said.
Yeah, and I'm just reiterating that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think, the point to be made here is that the township is finally there, which is a long way from where
Right.
it was when we first started, which I think is a good positive move. And both Daniel and Mark, being township representatives on this community, are the individuals that it makes the most sense, or are having that communication with the township.
Yeah, and I've been told that there are minutes of those meetings from the past that the clerk would have to research, of course, since they're not at hand. They may be in a storage closet someplace to determine how many people attended those hearings. And I've heard anywhere from 10 to 50 people at different times. And as I said, the critical thing is that most of the people that were against it that were on the town board are no longer there. And so that there's members now that are more open to the idea.
Okay, so we'll go ahead, Barry.
I just want to say, I'm sorry, Mark, I didn't mean any disrespect. I just been knee deep in that before. And I remember when I was a council member and we were doing this whole single hauler, we approached the township at that time too, thinking better deal for 3 communities versus 1 or 2. And one of the supervisors at the time said, over my dead body. So there definitely has been a sea change. And
Yes.
Mark, I really appreciate your following up on that for you guys.
Yeah, and yes, I thank you. Yeah, there is a sea change, at least on the board. That doesn't mean that the community has gone through that sea change. I did a little undercover work because a lot of the argument that was made at the time revolved around, I would say, majority of the people that spoke up against it used one particular service that they were happy with because that service gave them service to their doorstop, so to speak. Those people lived off the main road, a substantial amount of footage. And so they appreciated the fact that that truck was able to go down their property, down their driveway to pick it up at their home rather than at the roadside. So I went undercover, so to speak, and contacted that service. And that service is not cheaper than Republic, first off, for basic service. They do offer recycle. However, it's only once a month and it is at an extra charge. And before their trucks, before they take on that homeowner, that service, they have to have assurances that their truck can go down the road, turn around and come out.
Yeah. So Mark, I'm gonna now I'm gonna kind of move us along.
Sure.
You know, this is what's great is that we have, you know, that community-wide survey, which was pretty clear on people's thoughts about a hauler contract, and not necessarily the contract for the township, but the fact that so many different trucks were coming up and down roads in the township. So what's nice is that the other message we got loud and clear from some folks is, you know, I work with a certain hauler and I'd like to have the chance to at least, you know, present an RFP, be a part of that rather than it just be assuming that it's going to be one company that does it. So the process of setting up, you know, an RFP process I think will be good. You know, competition is always a very good thing, and we'll give everybody who is in this business a chance to present what they provide and their cost for it. It'll be really nice to follow along, but I think we have a lot of good information for the township, and with the two of you kind of helping out with that, I think that'll be huge. Go ahead.
Daniel, did you hear any more about the rumor of one of the services being purchased by another?
Not anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the players in the field may be shrinking.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Review current contracts and expectations for Republic for 2021. We really have reviewed the current contracts. Kathy, I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about where you all are, or if you want to hold that for a later date. Douglas? No, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I think I'd rather wait until we finalize things with Jet. Can you hear
Okay.
me? My
Yeah.
internet's very unstable, so.
No, can hear you.
Okay.
All good.
So I think I'd probably rather defer to our next meeting.
Great, perfect, no problem, but that'll be in the works. So I'm going to move on to rentals. Mark Epstein and I have already talked about kind of taking the lead on this, working with rental agencies to better educate their customers regarding the rules of recycling materials at the properties and in the communities, and outreach to vacation rentals. Grants/funding. Several individuals popped in about pursuing grants and other funding sources, working with the recycling project to procure funding for education and communication materials, and research opportunities with the Allegan County Resource Recovery and Recycling Program. Some of this is already in the works with, I'm trying to remember the gal's name, Cassandra, who we met with the recycling project. And this kind of goes back, Barry, what you were saying with the audits. She is going to let me know when that grant opens, and there could be an opportunity for some funding there through the recycling project. And so I don't want to pass up that opportunity, but as they come our way, I'll be sure to let you all know. And then Ken Freestone has been a big help, kind of keeping us in the know and in the loop regarding other types of eco-related grants, whether it's for recycling or composting. So stay tuned on that one. Composting, I'm going to keep going down this list. Composting, explore options for composting in the tri community. composting education and opportunities, connect with the garden club and continue to be in touch with Ken, and increase individual participation with composting activities. Demetra, I seem to recall that you and I had a conversation about the garden club. Did you ever hear
Yeah.
back from them?
You know,
Did you ever hear?
I've found who the president is of the club, and I've done outreach, a couple voice messages and email,
Mhm.
and we're not clicking, so we've not
Okay.
gotten back. So that might be, you know, for the moment off the table.
Okay. I know we do have Rana, remind me if I'm remembering incorrectly. Don't we have an article scheduled at some point in time along the lines of composting? Remind me. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And
Mhm.
who was going to do that one?
Jim was going to do that.
Jim was going to do that.
I
Very
think
good.
that was slated for closer to spring, just because I think that that's when more people will be
Mhm.
open to the idea of trying to set one up and understanding a
Mhm.
little bit more about it.
Yeah. And I know Jim's on the line, and feel free to pop in, Jim. And I know Kelly's been involved with composting too. My thoughts along this line, even in addition to an article in the commercial record, but starting to take advantage again of the Facebook page and maybe getting
Mhm.
a video or videos up of folks who actually do compost, and what they do to set up that practice in their backyard. I think that would be really helpful for some folks
Yeah.
from an education perspective. Go ahead.
And I was also thinking that maybe for those in condos and other smaller venues might be able to link up with other individuals in the community. And, you know, I was thinking that maybe we could have a compost speed dating.
Yeah.
Someone who
Yeah.
would like to compost their carrot tops and vegetables could
Mhm.
with a neighbor down the road. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's
well,
gonna.
it would be a safe,
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
distant social
Mhm.
event. So
Yeah. Very true. So
just
probably.
a thought of things to do.
No. Well, I think part of the process, and Jim, I know you're not on the committee, but feel free to weigh in. Some of it is actually finding out who's composting, who would welcome folks bringing their composting by, from or at least from a residential perspective. So, anything to add there, Jim or Kelly?
So I think Jim left the line, but
Oh,
I
okay.
can ask him about this
Yeah.
and just see, because he's got the farm. And then the other thing I was going to add is Ken Freestone has some beautiful videos on YouTube that I can send the links over for.
Oh,
That would be
He actually-
fantastic.
He has his own box that he's created that is actually really nice. It's the one I had built for my home. And it's just sort of, it's on a hinge and it flips in the middle. So one of the things that's
Perfect.
difficult about composting is it just gets so burdensome and heavy. So a lot of
Mhm.
people are averse to doing it because of that. And the way that he's developed this one is that you kind of flip it back and forth before it gets too much to manage.
Nice.
mhm.
I think, that education and content's already done. So we could definitely.
Okay. Yeah, if you can send that my way, that would be cool.
And I've also been looking into, larger, there's a Morgan Composting located in Fenville that does agriculture and business composting.
Okay. Cool.
So
All right.
I'll look into that.
You're wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, and then we talked about the hazardous waste and some
Yes.
folks stepping up and leading on that. And I've got general. Whatever we put in place, there has to be a way for it to continue once the committee has completed its job. There has to be some way to ensure this. What will this look like? I think that is a discussion for a later date. And then this is Rana, I'll give you away. Overarching 9-year goal to support the state of Michigan goal of 90% landfill diversion by 2030 through efficient recycling and composting efforts and addressing food rescue / waste locally while developing the equity in our communities. I love it. Anything else to add along those lines? I mean, should we make a dent in all of this, y'all? Oh my God, then it'll be well worth a celebration at this time next year. Anything else you want to add? Anybody else has got a burning feeling about?
I think more so than adding anything, for me, it would help to, however this gets written up, maybe I'd be happy to do it, or somebody else if you wanted to, but to take this and basically put them in buckets and see who's on it. And if there is, like Barry, you said that you were interested in taking the lead on the one part, and just kind of like really lay out who's in what bucket, and kind of they can meet and do subcommittees to be able to come back to the group. Some of them won't take more than one person, I'm sure, but then we
Yeah,
can
Ron.
kind of get a visual on what's happening.
Okay, Ron, I wrote all this down, and so I will, I think between Kathy and I, we'll be able to get you something. Hi, Barry, what's up?
Bucket, I got some names for my bucket.
Okay.
You know, on a hazardous
And-
waste thing.
Mhm.
I think it would be really great to have Kathy and Daniel on that subcommittee if I could help form one. Because, you know, Kathy's got her finger on the pulse in Douglas. I know a little bit about what's going on in Saugatuck, and Garnet and I can talk all the time. And Daniel is taking the lead on trying to point the township in a new direction. So if I was to suggest a bucket for the hazardous waste thing, and then and also I'm on the Kalamazoo Lake Sewer and Water Board, have been for 15 years. So great suggestion on that too, because that's our hazardous waste too. So
Yeah, I have Demetria also expressing an interest with the hazardous waste. Okay, we'll pull this together and then we'll get it back to the crew so that you can all take a look, so that we are sure not to volunteer you for something you didn't want. Okay,
Garnett?
what you got, Mark? Yeah.
Well, going back to an earlier statement about having the local businesses get joint group buying power, that's something that we should get Sadaba engaged in.
Yeah.
Because they obviously have more communication with the food businesses in particular.
Yeah, let me find my notes here. Group buying. Got it. Okay. Oh, there it is, right there.
Because again, that's kind of like the same idea of the single hauler.
Yeah.
It would be up to Sadaba to wrangle up restaurants that want to do that and form a buying co-op.
Yeah, we also have CVB, and then the small group, the Eat, Drink, something, Saugatuck, Eat, Drink, something.
Oh.
Saugatuck, Douglas, Fenville crew with all the restaurant people for the area. So I'm writing that down.
Is there still a Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, so Chamber, that's Jody Wellscott.
I know
Chamber.
that, gosh, he's not been gone that long already.
RJ.
RJ was the unofficial chapter president.
We also, there's a West Michigan something chamber that Jody Wellscott is the chair of. So I've written her name down. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move us along in the interest of time. I wanted to give a quick update on battery containers, Barry, since you've got like the lifeblood supply of old batteries. I left a message, and let me go back in my notes from the other day. Shoot, a gentleman by the name of Andre Brown. This is with a company called Battery Solutions. I think I shared this with everybody. They have 2 locations in Michigan. They offer a large tube, a small tube, and a bucket. So I left a message with Andre on the 7th in the afternoon, and I'll give him another day, and then I'll harass him again. Basically, the tube would be outside of each municipality, whether the city of Saugatuck, the township, or the city of Douglas. It looks like for a subscription fee, for lack of a better word, and this is where I wanted to get more information and more details, it would probably be about $70 a year for a subscription to have one of those huge tubes. The only problem that I've already been cautioned about from people is folks like Barry who are gonna fill up our tube within a lickety split second, and how to coordinate that so that we can collect everybody's batteries, alkaline batteries, and then move forward. And then to also prevent people bringing, like this was Rich in Douglas, he goes, oh my God, Garn, people are gonna bring their old battery from their car, and you name it, they're gonna bring it. So that whole effort will have to be pretty organized, but I think we would, be loved forever if we were able to get some kind of a stations, for lack of a better word, for battery drop off. So stay tuned. I will hurry.
Yeah, Batteries Plus, you had Batteries Plus on that graphic just now. They will accept recyclable batteries.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. All the big box places, that's what they recycle is recyclable, rechargeable batteries.
Yeah, I
yeah.
cheat, and I take my buckets like Barry has to Lowe's, and they have a station outside the door, I believe. They used to anyway, and I dump them in there.
Yeah.
Nobody
Cool.
stops me, so I dump them.
Yeah.
I let them sort them out.
Yeah.
Comp Renew is also takes recyclable batteries, and they will also take any electronics for free. They charge for batteries, but they will take any electronics for free. They will take televisions, except they have a fee for televisions.
Where's that?
And they used to park a truck at Dumond's years ago, where the public could bring all of their electronics, because what they basically do is they take them back to their shops in Grand Rapids and in Holland, and they have people that they've employed to refurbish them, especially
And
computers.
what was that name? I missed that name.
Comp Renew.
Comp Renew.
Yes, COMPRENEW. They're on, oh gosh, I can never remember the name of the street, but it's past the intersection of Lakewood and Douglas on the north side. It's in a little strip mall. There's a Walgreens. There you go.
In Holland.
Butternut.
Okay.
Butternut.
Hey, that came out of nowhere. Is that Aaron?
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm
Yeah,
tuning in and out of your meeting. Every once in a while, I hear you say something. I
It's
happen to
like magic. It
Yeah,
just
they,
appears.
for example, they'll take laptops and personal computers and things like that. They
Okay.
scrub them, they refurbish them, and they sell them back to the public at a very reasonable cost. And they do that to employ people that are down on their luck, basically.
Okay. Oh, all right.
They're a nonprofit.
We'll have to follow up on that one then too. Okay. So stay tuned on the battery containers. I just wanted to give you, so Ken Freestone turned us on to this, and then I shared it with each of the managers in the township, and then the city of Douglas and the city of Saugatuck. And of course, they're so supportive, had lots of questions, but they said, just, kind of let us know what we, need to do. And I had promised each of them, I've said, yes, I've tried to keep this as like low cost, no cost as possible. This will be the first time I come to you and actually ask you to spend money, and it's not much at that. So there's some real receptivity to that. So stay tuned. And then last, I wanted to talk to you, just a quick update on twice a month pickup, recycling pickup. We reached out to Jack Brown and asked for some specific information on what it would take to get to a twice a month recycling pickup for the city of Saugatuck and the city of Douglas. He went back and pulled together some information. He did this over the holidays, and he got back with us, I think it was last week. It would be an additional $2.50 a month or $30 a year. And of course, it would be, if we did it, everybody would have to do it, kind of thing. So it's not like I could choose to do it and Linda couldn't. It would be an all or nothing. So I'm going to run with that and kind of talk to the municipalities again and see where they might, well, it's really just Douglas and the city of Saugatuck, and see what kind of movement we might be able to get on that. So,
Would the,
yeah.
would the contracts have to be addended,
Well,
amended?
well, hold that thought. Yes,
Okay.
Kathy's nodding. Yes, hold that thought. And that's why I haven't like launched in full bore to this, because there's a lot more to it. But yes, who else was talking? Linda? Who else?
Yeah, I was just saying it's $30 a year per household.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's not bad.
No, it's not. So I think there's some things that we can do to
That's
educate
additional,
people
though.
about this. It is additional. But again, this is, and again, Mark, you missed it before you got on. We were kind of
sorry.
going through no. We were going through the accomplishments of 2020, and we gave major kudos to you for getting us started on this survey. And that survey has now provided us with some real a backbone from which to operate. It gives us all, data is always good. Without data, you're just another person with an opinion. So now we have data, and people are saying, I need to, I recycle, I fill up my bin, I need more pickups, blah, 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 blah. So I just wanted to fill you in on that. That had kind of happened, right, I guess, last week. And just sort of hold that thought. Yes, Barry.
Now, they also, as individuals, we can, contract or whatever it is, to get a second container.
Right.
I think that cost was about the same.
Okay.
So I think maybe there's two alternatives there, but probably need to clarify that. Let's say Garnett brings it to the city council. They go, I got a neighbor across the street. He doesn't even live here in the winter. He doesn't want to pay $30 extra a year. Where Barry Johnson across the street says, I need another container, partly because I missed it last week. But
yep.
I'm ready to pay $30 a year anyway. So can I do that individually, or does the city have to do it as a whole?
Yeah.
And I think that's the missing pieces of that answer.
Yeah.
My argument to someone like that would be, when you register your car, you register it for only 6 months or for 12 months? If you live in Florida for 6 months out of the year, you still have your car registered in the state of Michigan for 12.
Right.
So, and some of this, and this is again, well, hold on. And so this is, as we move forward, I mean, this is where our communication and our regular information through the commercial record and articles and the Facebook page will really begin to help. We can start getting these wheels moving. We can share this information with people. We can give them the alternatives, hey, here's something that can be done, or, a second bin. We can start really educating along those lines. And again, we're so much further than where we were last year. It's not like we're just off the top of our heads talking about this. So hold that thought, and we'll come back around when we get a little more information and direction.
Yeah, thanks,
All right.
thanks for taking the lead on that, Garnett. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think, as a city official that you negotiate contracts and all that, I think you were a very appropriate person to make that inquiry to Republic.
Yeah.
Kathy, for that matter.
Yeah. It helps to have, Kath and I, for representatives of our local councils. I think that's helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Next steps, I'm gonna basically, with Kathy's help, kind of summarize where we are and make some proposals for our next meeting. So stay tuned for that agenda coming your way in a week or two with next steps. Any strong feelings on that topic before I let it go? Yes, sir.
For me? Okay.
Yeah.
I would like, hopefully by that, we can appoint these subcommittees.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, after hearing Mark Epstein, some of the things he's jumped into already, I want to put them in my bucket.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Cool. All right. I'm going to open it up to public comment. I think Kelly might be our one person who is with us. Kelly, you got any? Oh, I might have lost her. I think I lost her.
I have something to ask.
Yeah, go for it.
In our last meeting, I brought up utilizing the radio show. And then,
Okay.
the weekly one or however long that Gregory does.
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning. Okay. Well, it's like at what, 7:30 in the morning?
Yeah, 7 or 7:30.
Yeah, see, I could never get there, but I was thinking that would be an appropriate thing maybe for the new council people, the new chair and co-chairs to go on his show and kind of give an overview of what the group did and what we're looking forward to this year.
Daniel, weren't
Daniel,
you supposed to be, you were supposed to be on his show Sunday morning, weren't you?
Okay, so it's complicated. So we are
Yeah.
on Gregory's radar. I was supposed to be the co-host with Gregory 2 weeks ago, but then he fell ill. And I was supposed to be the co-host this Sunday, which I was on, but they suffered terrible technical difficulties, which
Okay.
forced him to air a rerun. So I don't know about next week, but we are definitely on Gregory's radar to have potentially myself and Rana on as guests representing the recycling committee. Gregory was very excited by the prospect. He's open to it. It's just a matter of scheduling with him and seeing which guests, fit with, his other guests. So he's on board with it.
When I saw the listing in the commercial record, though, the way he described your position, it almost sounded as if you represented a company or a service called Tri Community and Composting.
Yeah, I'm copyrighted.
And well paid.
And that could have been
Very well paid.
That could have been one of the writers from the newspaper who very often doesn't clearly state people's responsibilities and ranks.
Really?
That's true.
Next time we'll submit something like official from us, so it'll clarify what we are.
Yeah.
There we go.
And I
Very
think,
good.
and doesn't Mike Johnson still have his show on Saturdays?
Yes, he does. It's probably
Yeah.
time to reach out to Mike too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it
we
wouldn't
can
hurt
do
to
that.
have both shows covered at different, not the same weekend necessarily, but at different times,
Sure. All right.
different
Very good.
audiences.
I
hear-
have a quick item before we go.
Okay.
I thought that this most recent article about rethinking recycling was great. I thought
Mm-hmm.
really good history. And it referenced a couple of other places like the TerraCycle and the plastic recycling poster.
Mm-hmm.
So in linking, I went to the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Great if those items, what we referenced, just get posted as informational things, because after someone reads it, it's like, oh, what is that and how do I go?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I'll write
and then
myself a
I-
note here.
that
Ken
gets
article.
back-
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so going forward, just to either
Yep.
link those.
Thanks for the reminder. Cool. Okay. Very
That's
good.
all. I
And
heard-
Rana,
I heard
what are the
some-
next? Oh,
Just real quick, I heard something the other day that struck me, that one easy way to determine if something is recyclable plastic, especially bags, is if you can put your finger through it.
mhm.
If you
Yeah.
have a very difficult time putting your finger through it, it can be recycled.
Right.
Right.
Oh, okay, good.
So and I think one of the things that most industries, when they're communicating information, they tend to use technical terms that they're all familiar with instead of putting them out in layman's language.
Mm-hmm. So Rana, what are our next articles coming up? Just as a reminder.
Next one was going to be an overview of the contracts in the cities, but I spoke with Kathy and we're gonna kind of push that one out until they get
Okay.
further tightened
Mhm.
up. And so the next one I am writing, and it will be about how your peanut butter container can contaminate an entire load.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, that'll be
Yes.
exciting.
And that's why pizza boxes are not recyclable also.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I've become obsessive about cleaning things out. It's like, it's amazing.
I can see
All
the
right.
headlines now. Peanut butter sales plummet in tri-community.
Yeah, no
Exactly.
kidding. No kidding. All right, very good. Anything else for the good of the order, crew? We ran through quite a bit, and again, I appreciate you, and it's
I
gonna be quite
have
the year.
some updates on the impeachment.
Oh, okay. Well, you may not have
Time for
everybody
me
of
to
like
leave.
mind.
This is being
Time for me to
recorded.
leave. See ya. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's the end of the meeting.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, Linda, you might want to hold that thought. We can chat about it afterwards. You there?
I'm
Oh,
here.
she's been, okay. All right. Anything else recycling related before we adjourn? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I second it.
All right. Okay, let me get that down. Okay, any discussion? I don't think so. Real quick, just say yes. Epstein,
Yes.
Escott,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
DeFranco,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
North,
Yes.
Tyrion,
Yes.
Lewis is a yes. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. And
That
Thank
was
you,
up,
everybody.
by the way.
Bye-bye.
all right.
Stay safe. All right, Garn, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Ready.
Six House Republicans back impeachment. That's it. That's the breaking news.
It's
Six,
what?
okay.
Six.
Six. Yeah, that hasn't
Oh.
changed since I came on, but that's okay.
Oh,
That's okay.
I thought I came on,
Okay.
so.
All right, you guys. All right, thanks,
Happy New
everybody.
Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yep. See ya.